how to raise girls who can reason on their own, reason for themselves, reason independently, and reason logically, especially in this era of social media madness, social media fake life, and social media oppression, like they call it. Now, the other day I was listening to Worry Pikin share her weight loss journey. Something caught my attention. She said when she got back, people slid into her DM advising her to take up influencing for weight loss products. Imagine, products that didn't work for her. People were encouraging her to influence those products. Meaning, if she had come forward to say, oh, this product worked for me, people would have gone ahead to buy it without even thinking, without questioning. Yes, without thinking, because we see that very many girls, they are not thinking for themselves. I remember a couple of months ago, there was an issue between Jaruma, the Kayamata Madam, and Regina Daniels. Apparently, she had asked Regina Daniels, she contracted Regina Daniels to influence some of her Kayamata products for her. And Regina Daniels did not meet her part of the bargain, and that was it. Now, everybody knows that Regina Daniels married Nedwoko, a billionaire, and she has become an inspiration to very many girls. The idea was for Regina Daniels to come and pretend that it was a Kayamata that actually made her to find her husband or marry her husband. If Regina Daniels had actually influenced like Jaruma wanted, many ladies would have believed, they would have fallen for it without even asking the possibility of the Kayamata making Regina Daniels to find Nedwoko or Nedwoko to find Regina Daniels. We see a lot of celebrities come online. I see Destiny Etiko and Mercy Johnson advertising flat tummy products, and I'm wondering, do people believe these ladies? If they don't believe them, then they will still be advertising the products. It simply means they believe them. Now, if you take a look back years ago when this lady started their Nollywood journey, you will realize that they've always had flat tummy. I remember seeing a video of Destiny Etiko, and she almost had nothing on her tummy. I've also seen a video of Mercy Johnson with very flat tummy. Today they come forward to advertise some product, and people just sit back and they believe. Are you kidding me? Let's talk about fake prophets and fake pastors. Oh, women are their easiest targets. Let's talk about online scam and all of that. The other day I read about a lady who met a guy on an online app and invited the guy over, and the guy drugged her and had his way with her forcefully. You know, a lot of things women go through, and if they want to be sincere, they sit back and think it over. They'll realize that if I had activated my reasoning faculty, I may not have been in this mess I am in. Now, one of my goals in life is to raise my children, my daughter especially, to be able to reason logically, to be able to reason on the go. So if that is your goal, you want to watch this video from the beginning to the end as I share 7 ways, 7 ideas, 7 tips you can use to teach your daughters to be able to reason logically, reason for themselves, reason independently. Because let's look at it. If your child is not able to reason for themselves, right, they are going to rely on someone else to reason for them. That is what happens a great deal. That is exactly what happens. Very many people rely on people to reason for them. Not consciously, unconsciously, rely on people to reason for them. Recently, I saw someone talking about how someone else asked her to go and do BBL. And unfortunately, I didn't get the full gist. So I was sitting there and I was wondering, someone else asking to go and do BBL. I actually hope you didn't take it up, because that person had a vision, or that person has a vision for herself. And BBL is part of the vision that person has for herself. You have a vision for yourself. BBL is not part of the vision. So if somebody tells you, okay, go and do BBL, you do sit back to ask yourself, what role does BBL have to play in my vision? How does BBL take me closer to my vision? Very many girls, very many ladies, we don't do that. We just have people thinking for us. Someone does one thing, everybody wants to do the thing without pausing to think, to evaluate the situation. Like I said, I don't want to raise children who have people thinking for them. I want to raise children who are able to think on their own, reason on their own, especially in this time and age. And if you're a parent who wants what I want, you want to watch this video as I share 7 ideas from the beginning to the end. And you also want to do it, to share, to leave your comment, to like, and most especially if you have not subscribed, subscribe to this channel so that as I bring you interesting topics, you will be one of the first people to get the topic, and we'll grow together in our parenting. My name is Enimia Orebo. I'm a parent coach, mentor, and consultant, and I'm also an author of very many books, both in e-copies and in hard copies for parents and for children. I also consult for schools on manners, characters for their children, and I also work with schools teaching children manners, character, sexuality education, and building leadership skills in them. I'm also the lead coach at the Visionary Parents Academy, an academy where parents are empowered with knowledge, with skills, with actionable practical steps on how to raise the children they have, especially in this time. The Visionary Parents Academy is a place you definitely want to be. If you're a parent, you need to be with us, and our 2024 class is already getting ready, so you don't want to miss our 2024 class. What you need to do is just to drop your comment there that you want to be in our 2024 class, and we'll tell you everything you need to know about our 2024 class for the Visionary Parent Academy. Parents who want to parent their children towards the vision, who want to have a vision and parent their children intentionally and script their children towards that vision. So let me quickly share one major reason why we should prioritize teaching our children to reason logically or to reason for themselves. Human beings are primarily driven by emotions. Now, this is why when we are happy, you are super happy, you are making promises, you either have no intentions of fulfilling or you cannot even fulfill. And when you are angry, you are making threats or you are doing things that you regret later. Now, when you feel the emotion called envy, you don't pause to think, okay, this envy right now, if I can actually get inspired and do more for myself, grow in myself, or I can destroy the person I'm envious of, I can destroy myself by not thinking through. Raising children can also reason for themselves is a major tool to success, because they are reasoning, they are thinking beyond what they see, what they are saying. They are actually able to think through their choices and make solid decisions. So let's go into how to raise our children, or the tools we need to raise our children to be able, especially our girls, and particularly our girls, because this social media oppression of madness or fakeness is more on the girls, if you ask me. So let's go into the tools we can use to empower our children to be able to reason for themselves. Now, the first tool you will need to raise children who can think for themselves is contentment. Someone will ask me, what has it got to do with it? Everything. Desperation is an attitude that blocks the brain from thinking. You are desperate. It's like you are in a situation, intense emotions, you are not able to think. That is why you see people doing what, when they sit back, they will say, oh, it was the devil's work, the devil asked me to, the devil made me do it. Nah. It is desperation. So one of the very first things you want to teach your child to be, if you want her to be able to reason for herself, is not to be desperate, rather to be contented with what she has. Contentment doesn't mean she should not be ambitious. Yes, she can be ambitious, she can want more out of life. But firstly, contentment is a state of satisfaction, happiness of where you are, what you have. It is that positive energy that will even give you ideas, creative ideas to work more. So the very first thing you want to teach your child is contentment, appreciation of who you are, where you are, and things around you. Contentment. Number 2 is emotional intelligence. Very important. Someone will say, what has it got to do with it? Everything. Just as a parent, you need emotional intelligence in your journey. Everyone needs emotional intelligence. As human beings, we are driven primarily by our emotions. Yes, everything that happens to us, they are actually influenced by our emotions. Now, if we learn to pause and breathe, your child is faced with options, with choices, with events. If they learn to be able to pause and breathe, okay, what am I feeling? How am I feeling about this situation? What am I feeling? What are my thoughts right now? If they're able to pause and breathe and put it all together, they'll be able to know that, okay, right now, it's not as if I actually like this lifestyle. I just feel I'm just carried away or something. They will be able to understand that, and that will help them make better or empowering decisions. That will make sure that they are not carried away, or they are not just doing things randomly. So the second one is emotional intelligence. Number 3 is independent mind. Yes. And your child will not grow it if you don't let them be. If you don't let them pick up responsibilities, if you don't let them take their own decisions. It is not every time you are jumping in the way to decide for your child. There are so many areas your child needs to be able to stand up and take decisions concerning their lives. So many areas, small areas. So it's not every time as a parent to decide for your child. Let your child be independent. Yes, I know sometimes we want to shield them from mistakes, but guess what? That's how they learn. That's how they grow. Shielding your child from mistake is not empowering your child in any way. In fact, if you followed me long enough, you know that I always say normalize mistakes. Normalize mistakes. Let your child dare. Let them do things. Let them create their own structure. Let them create their own structure. Let them plan their day. It's on Sunday. Let them plan. I'm going to do this. I'm going to wear this. Let them plan their day. Let them make their mistake on their own. They are thinking for themselves. Being independent means you are able to think for yourself. You are your self-leader. You are your self-governor. You are deciding what you want to do with yourself, what you are doing with your life all by yourself. From when they are small, because when they are small, they are making small decisions. It is easy for them to begin to learn from their mistakes compared to when they become grown and they make big mistakes. Some of those mistakes that they can really life-changing. No, from small, have them make those mistakes now. When you are still there to care for them, you are still there to be their pillar. Let them make those small mistakes. Then to give your children pocket money. Let them learn how to use it. This pocket money is towards a particular thing. Okay, you want to buy XYZ, you have your money. Save it up from now till next year or in 2 months time to buy this XYZ you want to buy. And your child says, no, I want to spend it all on ice cream. Good and fine. Spend it on ice cream, and when you want to buy the XYZ you want to buy, the money has finished. It's not my fault, because you have eaten the ice cream, you swallowed the ice cream is gone. You've pulled it away, it's gone. Now you would have bought probably a wristwatch or maybe a toy or a game that would have lasted you another 1 year or so. So let them take decisions, let them make mistakes, put structure on ground for your child to be independent. So many areas. Let them plan their lives, plan small things around their lives. Remember I said that when they make these small mistakes, you are now there to be their shoulder, to show them the lessons, to comfort them, show them the lessons, help them learn from it, compared to leaving them just hovering around them, not allowing them independent, not allowing them do things on their own. Then because of that, they wouldn't have develop their ability to think for themselves. And when they grow up and they start having people think for them, they make big mistakes, it becomes even more tragic. So grant them age appropriate independence. The next one is encourage curiosity. Yes, I have a friend who says he tells the children to ask her at least 2-3 questions a day. Every day you must ask this number of questions. You must ask me. No matter how dumb it is, just ask a question. Let me know you are thinking. Let me know something is going through your brain. Let them be able, encourage them to be curious, to ask questions. They ask questions. Why is AA? Why is BB? Why is this so? Let them ask questions, so that tomorrow, when the social media fake life or oppression comes calling, they are going to be able to pause and ask questions. Okay, you said this happens like this and this happens the other way. Why is it happening? Why is it not so? Why does it have to be this? So let them ask questions from small. Any question, let them ask questions. Yes, sometimes their questions can be very dumb. I know that because I have kids too. You are wondering, are you serious right now? Really? It's supposed to be a question, but hey, just don't ask them to shut up. Encourage them to keep asking. It is when you answer their questions, they are confident that they have the confidence to go outside to ask more questions. Imagine them asking you questions and you are shutting them down. You are killing that confidence in them, so they will not even have that confidence to ask questions outside. One of the things I tell my children is, apart from asking me questions, I always tell them when they get to school, ask questions. Every single day, ask questions. Every day, ask questions. You have a particular topic that is being taught in class. A teacher comes to your class, at least ask one question. Ask one question at least. Let your teacher say it's dumb. That's their cup of coffee. You're in school to learn. Anything that is as much as not clear, ask. Ask questions. That way, when they grow up, they have the confidence to ask questions. Something looks fishy, they are asking questions. They are not just swallowing everything hook, line, and sinker. The fifth one is very, very important. Help them develop information evaluation skills. It's also like allow them to be curious. Help them understand, okay, this happened, why not this? You have this information. How did it happen? How did it happen? Okay, I'll give you a particular example. We moved from Lagos to Delta State, and we live in the suburban. And so my kids started this school, and there's one teacher in my son's class that keeps telling them stories about one of such stories she shared was that a woman was going one day, she saw a dog, she hit the dog with a stick, and the dog, she got home and she felt sick. And then she was told the dog she hit was responsible for her sickness, that the dog was actually an old woman, like a witch, those kind of stories. And I didn't even know how much, even though I tried to disabuse my son's mind, I didn't know how much impact that story made to my son until about the other day. My younger son had an injury, and I was asking him, how did you get this injury? And my younger son said he wasn't sure where he got the injury from. And then my son came up and said, did you hit someone? Immediately I said, hey, so it is this story, the stories that he's been hearing in school that actually I'm impacting. So I had to tell him, okay, you know what we are going to do? We are going to work on your information evaluation skills from now on. So I told him, when you get to school and your teacher shares this kind of story with you, ask her, were you there, ma'am? One. If she says yes, you ask her, like, did you actually, what evidence, what proof did you have that it was the old woman? Was it the old woman that told you herself? Did you see the old woman turning into the dog or something? Or did you ask her such questions? Ask her in a very polite way that she'll think you are learning, you are curious. Also ask her, okay, she said she wasn't there, somebody told her, you ask her, okay, do you know anyone that actually has experienced that? Do you know anyone? Because I know that some of these stories are make-believe. People just cook up stories, or from Nollywood stories, they start sharing it. Okay, so do you know anyone who has actually been afflicted because something happened like this? And if she says no, you ask her, okay, do you know any woman? Even if she says yes, I know someone who actually was sick because, okay, do you know anyone, any old woman that does this, actually transforms to animals to cause affliction to people? I say, ask these questions. If you ask this question, she doesn't know anyone, then just know that it is not true. Except she knows someone. Even when she knows someone, then you can further ask her, okay, do you know the person's house? I'm just curious, information evaluation skills. Your child should be able to evaluate information they are receiving. When they want to invest in business, when they are going online, anything at all, anything. Because the world we are now, anything. We can't predict tomorrow. You don't know what will happen. But what we can do is to empower our children to be able to navigate tomorrow hitch free. That is what we can do. And one of the things we can use to do that is by helping them build thinking skills, helping them think for themselves. Now the next one is teach real life situations. Now this is very important because we are living in the real life, in reality. So use stories around you, online, offline. In fact, I prefer offline because children are offline more, right? Offline situations, things are happening around you in their school, at home, your neighborhood, news, everything. Use it to teach them real life situations. They are seeing how things are happening. I remember a friend of mine was sharing that she got scammed. So she had to tell her children about it. Oh, I got scammed, someone deceived me, and all of that. And the children were asking, okay, how did you fall for this kind of thing? What did the person say and what did the person did not say? She explained everything to the person. So they're looking at, okay, what if I had looked at the situation like this? What if I had not listened? Teach your children with real life situations. Now, this is why you must share your experiences with your children. If you followed me long enough, you know that I always say that share your own stories with your children, your everyday stories. Share it with your children. You are driving, you have a flat tire, share with your children. How you solve it, share with your children. What happened? Share with your children. You were going, a lot of things. Keep sharing with them. Share your own stories with them. Their own stories. Use it to teach them. Their subject in school, use it to teach them. That's why I tell parents, take your time to do revision or teach your children their schoolwork, not just lesson teachers, because from their schoolwork you can teach real life situations. There is no subject that you cannot be related to real life. I always say to teachers that if your student cannot apply lessons to real life, then you have not taught. Really. So teach them from real life situations, things that are happening. Why are people making the decisions they are making? What are the consequences of these decisions they are making? At the end of the day, life has a ripple effect. Every decision you make has a consequence. This person did this, and this person is facing this consequence because of this person, because of this thing he or she did. Now this thing happened to this person, not because this person has done something necessarily, because of the ripple effect of another person's decision. So keep talking to your child about real life, even when they are little, small children. You can also share with them age appropriate lessons that they can understand. Share with them real life situations. Use it to teach your children how to think, how to reason for themselves. Another one is be a role model. We cannot overemphasize this. Now, this is why I tell parents in the Visionary Parents Academy, one of the things we do is we want to deliberately identify those things we want in our children, and we begin to see if we don't have them in us, then we have to learn them. That is it. You want your child to be patient. You are not patient, then you have to learn it, because your child is learning from you. So be a role model. You want your child to be a critical thinker. You want your child to be a role model. When there are problems to solve, what do? Because people who are able to think for themselves are able to solve problems. So when event happens, situation happens, that is one of the ways you can actually bring your children to think for themselves. So be a role model. When you are facing events, you are facing situations in your house, what do? You are going to sit there and think critically. Let your children still thinking through your options, weighing your options, going back and forth and thinking. I always say that you owe your child an explanation about the things you do for them, the decisions you take for them or for yourself. Why? Because your values influence your decisions, and if you want your child to actually uphold your values, then you have to tell them, you have to let them understand why you are doing the things you are doing. That is how they can learn, or rather uphold your values. So you have to model it, model problem solving for them. You just don't. I always tell parents in the Visionary Parents Academy, and you need to join us if you are not there with us, because we do a lot. I share a lot of experiences there. After this video, I'm going back there to share an experience. We share a lot of experiences there. So practical experience will help us learn, not just me, other members. So the Visionary Parents Academy is one of the most effective parenting community you can join. We read books, we have template worksheets we use every day, we have activities, we do a whole lot, and we have a community where we encourage ourselves. You need to come and see our testimonies. You need to come and see what parents are saying. I can go on and on talking about the Visionary Parents Academy. You need to join. If you are not there, you come and join. It's one of the best things you can do for yourself in 2024. I tell you. Okay, so model this to your children. Model to your children how to think critically. There's an issue. The commonest one I always say is when maybe in your house, maybe we have the issue in Nigeria, NEPA don't take light, and you start complaining. Why are you complaining? Your complaining is not solve it. It's not restoring the light. So what do? You wear your thinking cap and you activate your reasoning faculty, and you go, okay, there's no light, put on the gen, put on the lamp, do something. I say to my parents, do not complain. Yes, sometimes things happen and we feel bad because we are human beings, so we can't just complain a little, but not that we just stay there and dwell in it. We start complaining. Another thing many people do is to never take responsibility for their actions, always blaming people and all of that. No, don't do that, because that is what you are modeling to your children. Never to take responsibilities, never to think for themselves, never to see how they can learn from their mistakes. So model taking model critical thinking, model thinking logically, model thinking for yourselves. When you want to make a decision, look at the options you have. Look at the options you have. Just don't go with what everybody is saying. Look at the options you have. On political issues, think for yourself. Sit down and analyze situation. Yes, on trendy issues, think for yourself. Sit down and analyze situations. Just don't go with what everybody is saying, and do it. Let your children see you thinking for yourself. That way you are modeling for them how to think for themselves. That's actually the 7 ideas I want to share, and I know I've shared more bonuses, That's what you get when you join the Visionary Parent Academy. You are going to have a lot of amazing bonuses. You are going to have regular worksheets. You are going to have free consultation, regular. You can hit me up anytime. Even when I'm sleeping, I prioritize you. You are going to get, you are going to read books and reviews. Sometimes you get free ebooks. Of course, you are already going to get free ebooks, my books. You are going to get a lot of my free ebooks, and you are also going to get audiobooks, free ebooks, master classes, access to many coaches, a lot more you are going to get in the community. Really, you should join us. So let me quickly share extra bonuses. Other ways we can teach our children to think for themselves. We can also use board games. Board games are amazing way to have children thinking for themselves. Monopoly, is it chess they call it, snake and ladder, a lot of them. You can also use, like when they have this subject they do in school, reasoning, verbal reasoning and quantitative reasoning. They are amazing way to have children think for themselves. You can use storytelling. Storytelling, absolutely. Your child has a book, they are reading the story, you are asking questions about the stories, Bible stories, any story, you asking questions about the stories. You can ask them, okay, finish up the story, change the ending of the story, change the storyline for the main character. A lot of things just to help them activate their reasoning faculty, because otherwise they are not going to just sit on their own and develop it. And minimize screen time. Minimize screen is a major way to help children develop life skills, because thinking for yourself is a life skill, and children no longer get bored. Children no longer get bored. There is screen there for them to watch. If they are bored, they just put on the television. It's just a button away. We don't need that. If you want to raise children who can reason for themselves, minimize screen. Create a structure where they are bored. Yes, they are bored, and there are a million and one things they can do. Invent your play. Do anything. Not television, not phone, not any gadget. Do things. Just be creative. Minimize screen time. Minimize television. If you can, minimize it to the barest minimum, like 15 minutes or 30 minutes a day. That's fine. Every other time, go. Growing up, we didn't have television like that, so we're able to do a lot of play, learn from our plays and all of that. Now, the truth of the matter is, imagine this era, even a lot of us growing up with less television, we are not able to think for ourselves. We have people thinking for us. That's why we see a lot of people following. Someone does something, everybody is following, copying that person without thinking for themselves. Now imagine this era where children don't even have the opportunity to think for themselves, because they have screen, they have structured play, screen, they have screen, gadgets, games and all of that they sit down to be doing from morning till evening. They are not doing hands-on activities, they are not experimenting, they are not making mistakes and learning from it. What do you think will happen? It is going to be an era where many zombies are going to be raised. So limit screen time, and let your children play, let them explore. That's how they learn. We are raising them for the real life situation, real life. Television is not real life. Television is not real life. Yes, and you can also encourage them to solve puzzles all the time. And lastly, encourage them to share their thought process. They do something, they share their thought process with you, and you also ask them, what if not, why this, why not, that's about all. But before I wrap up, I want to again bring you the good news called the Visionary Parent Academy 2024 cohort. Don't miss it. Don't miss it. Don't miss it. Don't miss it. Really, don't miss it. Don't miss it. If you're a parent and you want to parent intentionally, you want to parent with a vision, it is a place you want to be. We start by creating a vision, our parenting vision, creating a parenting roadmap, a parenting framework. Then we master our emotions, because we know that your emotions take you to where you want to be. Without emotional intelligence, you ain't going anywhere. So we master our emotions, and we do a whole lot of activities. A whole lot. We open your mind, your eyes to unlearn and relearn. Thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Enime Orebo, and this is Parenting with Enime Orebo. Again, share this video, share to everyone you know that is interested in parenting. Share on your WhatsApp statuses, the groups you join, your alumni group, your church group, your just social communities. Share so that every parent can come and benefit from the gold we have here. You also want to you also want to leave a comment. Yes, leave a comment. And you also want to like. And if you have not subscribed, please do it to subscribe. And if you have subscribed before, thank you. I appreciate you. And if you've been sharing, if you've been liking, if you've been commenting, thank you so much. I appreciate you a great deal. See you next time. Bye-bye.